past Thompson Creek mine and some of these old dredging sites, but all this whole creek's been dredged. There's pile after pile after pile of rocks they dug out of the stream bottom looking for gold, or silver. Metal pipe sticking out from something. Sticking out of the side of the hill. There's a bunch of tailing piles up there. Yeah, it's kind of interesting. Road's been pretty easy, huh, Catherine?
Yep. Just waiting for the sunshine.
Yeah. It's kind of been rainy, miserable, a little bit of wind, but down in here, it's pretty nice. We have no idea if this ever turns into a rough road or not. It's 28 miles long, and we're just going. Again, you take a little bit of time and get up here in these mountains. Now, they're covered with junipers and sagebrush up on top, but these valleys, they're green and forested, and there's a lot of moisture in here. So for what's supposed to be a warm day, it's only 40 degrees. This will probably snow up on top of this thing tonight.
This was supposed to be the low.
This is the National Forest. Shows it as open, but I don't think it's been used in a while. Oh, there's some sort of pipe going on there. That's probably why it's open right there. The rancher probably uses it to get water to a trough somewhere. Kind of the overlook of Avalanche Gulch and then Magpie Gulch, and this is where we're at now. Nice little overlook here. Isn't that right, Catherine? Sasquatch. Look at those stars. Those big yellow
I
stars.
know.
There's lots of flowers.
Sasquatch could totally live in here. Doesn't have a lot of places to hide up here.
Today's wanderings will take us through a number of areas that are named after gulches. So it will depend upon which road we're on and which hillside we're on, and we're going to pass many of these gulches and travel through many of these gulches and be near some of these gulches. But all of these little canyons in here were named gulch, and we'll give you some information off the very first one. The first one was in 1864. General Sterling Pierce of the Confederate Army had several Confederate soldiers in Montana out doing scouting. And what is now known as Confederate Gulch, in their wanderings up this gulch, they happened to find placer gold. So they were excited about this, of course, but it also didn't take long for the news to get out that gold had been found. The next year, the Montana bar was found, which is one of the richest claims of gold ever found anywhere. At $20 an ounce, it was estimated that you would earn $1,000 per pan of gold, if you were just with a gold pan panning a creek. $1,000 a pan was the going rate in Confederate Gulch in the Montana bar in this area. As you can imagine, this created a swarm of people to come to Montana. Also, it opened up all sorts of claims. There were claims everywhere. And in keeping with Gulch, everything got named Gulch. So there is Culp Gulch, there's Montana Gulch, there's Piatt Gulch, there's Sheriff Gulch, there is German Gulch, there's Boulder Gulch, there's Greenhorn Gulch, there is White Gulch, Wood Gulch, Park Gulch, Magpie Gulch, Avalanche Gulch, Never Sweat Gulch. So gulch became the word for all of these mining claims in this area. Everything, all these canyons got named basically a gulch. And today we are going to be driving on Avalanche Gulch, and we are going to certainly cross a number of these other gulches and basically do a big circle around Confederate Gulch and Miller Mountain, which is where this first claim was. In 1866, just 2 years later, Montana had a population in the whole state of 28,000 people. But 35% of these people were living in Confederate Gulch and mining this area. It was such a rich strike that people came from everywhere. A city sprung up called Diamond City, and it was not because there were diamonds there. It was because of the 4 houses that were in town were shaped like a diamond when it became popular. And up to 10,000 people lived in this area, if you can imagine that. Now there's not one cabin, not one standing cabin in Diamond City.
Good spot for lunch, huh?
Yep. Yes.
And just like that, a tree fell across the road. We had to get it busted and pulled out of the way, but that's why you need to think about it. It might be clear on your way in, but it might not be clear on your way out. One good wind and down it comes. Well, had a little bit of rain.
Yep.
And
Kind of a lot of rain, actually.
this was Sunshine Valley Overlook on GPS here. And another really easy road.
And beautiful flowers everywhere. Green.
The only road that we really had any big rocks on was Magpie Basin or something like that it was called. And that one had some rocks. The rest of them are pretty much dirt roads, wouldn't you say?
Yep.
A couple bumps here and there.
Yeah, nothing scary.
Nothing scary. Every now and then a little more difficult obstacle, but now I'm not saying this to be mean to the full-size truck guys, but the branches are right on the edge of what the Gladiator can do. We're getting a few pinstripes, but if you had a full-size truck in here, you'd have a few new stripes today. Some of the trees are cut off like within an inch of my side, so if you were 2 inches wider,
Some of them you can't avoid.
yeah, and some of them were just plowing out of the way, but still beautiful back in here. I don't know how it would be in August, but let's just, whoa!
Slip slide, no way.
I turned into that corner a
The
little.
rabbit up here is not scared of the Jeep at all. It came right up to the tire last time.
Yeah, he's a little snowshoe rabbit, I think. He's got the white feet. I saw him on the way in. Anyway, the road's getting a lot smoother over here. This has been, they've had some work done to it. It's nice and smooth, a couple ruts. We're heading back down. We made a whole loop from Avalanche Creek down whatever this side is, so we're just gonna check it out. I mean, whole new area for both of us.
The geology of these mines made it perfect for using hydraulic tubes and pipes and stuff. So basically what was discovered is Miller Mountain once had a bunch of granite and gold and such veins in it, but they had long since deteriorated, and now it was all laying in the hillsides. So nothing was deep. The deeper you went, the less chance you had of finding gold. All the gold was found in 150 feet or higher, and most of it much higher. If you went lower, the only way you were going to find gold is if you came across a deposit that had been buried through flooding or mudslides or something like that. The hydraulic mining meant to flush the sediment down into giant sluice boxes where they would go through the product and get the gold.
The bottom, Catherine? That's Canyon Ferry. There's a lake down there, a reservoir called Canyon Ferry. You can barely see it out there.
Yeah.
The bottom of this canyon. We'll be working our way that way.
In 1868, 2.5 tons of gold was mined in the last few months that they were doing active mining. By 1899, it was assumed all gold was gone, but it had already started to deteriorate. By 1870, only 200 people were left of the original thousands and thousands that were in the area.
Right here.
The what?
My boots.
I don't think so.
You don't get to decide if I'm scared or not. Scared you going up than it was coming down. I could see how wide it is going down, and I couldn't really see going up.
Yeah, it's pretty wide.
Yeah.
I wasn't nervous
Well, that
on that one.
doesn't necessarily mean I
That
won't.
doesn't give you great confidence that I'm not nervous.
No.
As people tried to reopen the mines, and they tried it in 1910, 1920, 1930, 1956, 1939, the last time any amount of gold was found was on a new slope in 1939, and they got 2,350 some ounces of gold. Everyone else went bankrupt who came and tried to rework the tailings or rework the mining piles. There was no gold left, and these stream beds had been dug up over and over and over
Ledgy
again.
road. Ledge. All the way down.
Wide enough for 2 vehicles to pass one another.
2 crazy people.
I mean, keep it in perspective. We have ledges where one tire is half on the edge, half on the hill.
Nothing saying that part of this road isn't going to get like that.
I don't think they come up here and gravel it and then leave a tough spot.
Yeah, but rain happens.
Oh, okay. This to me
This is
looks
nice
like
and
an
wide.
intentional, like what they did with Daisy Pass, where
Yeah.
they made it so that people can ride their 4-wheelers and stuff and basically not be injured. Because there's no ranches or campgrounds back here, so they're just making a scenic route that you can drive in relatively safety. This feels like a little bit more like a 4 out of 10.
A lot of rock. Whoa. Sun's coming out. For a minute.
This area never really hit a secondary rush of any sort. A lot of times with mineral mines that go deep into the mountain, maybe perhaps there'll be a time where lead is being mined or zinc or some other thing that all of a sudden reinvigorates some interest in the mines. These were all sluice and hydraulic mines with flumes and ditches, and it never made any sense for them to come back and remine it. Everyone who tried went bankrupt because there was no gold left. So before you start thinking $1,000 a pan, this is going to pay off to make a trip up here, know this, that thousands and thousands and thousands of people have came back to this area to try to find gold again, and there has not been much found at all since 1939. It gives you a really strange feeling as you're driving these abandoned roads and stuff up here, that at one point this was bustling with activity. People crawling over the hills trying to find the gold vein. And it's estimated that basically most of this gold came from that Miller Mountain area and washed down from that mountain into all of these gulches around there. And there wasn't much else ever found. Limestone typically doesn't contain gold or metals, but this limestone had pockets and leftovers from a mountain that had been broken down somehow and had been eroded into the limestone, and that's what they were finding, was just that one layer. Today you can take a number of different roads and trails that go up into the Belt Mountains, the Big Belt Mountains, and you can go up Confederate Gulch. You can go past Diamond City. If you find on Google Earth, you can actually find the graveyard, and you could go look at many of the unmarked graves that are there. There are some occasional logs and stuff left in the trees where maybe there was once a building or a house, but most everything has been destroyed. There's just not anything left of Diamond City or this whole era in Montana's mining history.
So, another little spur road. All sorts of great stuff for camping back here, huh?
I don't know. It's pretty like loggy.
Yeah, a lot of deadfall here. Or limestone.